Sir, we're approaching a podcast. It's part of the Legion Academy collective called Dice Time.
That's it. Bob Swaim and Ben Jetron are there.
My lord, there are several Star Wars Legion podcasts. It could be any number.
That is the one. Admiral, set your course for Dice Time.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Dice Time. I'm your host, Ben Jetron.
And I'm Bob Swaim, coming from an undisclosed location out in the middle of nowhere.
Both of your lovely hosts with B names are back again.
That be us.
Alright. We have a jam-packed show today, Bob.
Yeah, it's gonna get kinda cool. We don't have a guest this time, so that's a little bit different. So, we're actually just setting in the ship, kinda chilling, and I got a real good bottle of root beer here. It's
Space
I
root
can't
beer.
even say the name of it, but it's good. Yeah, it's
root beer.
Space root beer. From where we stopped on that town in Tatooine with that sheriff that looked kinda like he was Mandalorian. I don't know, man, but they sell really good root beer there.
Oh yeah, they did. Well, we're gonna be hitting a few, major topic points tonight.
Man, it's been crazy out there, hasn't it? There's been all kinds of
Yeah,
stuff
this
going on.
past month has been insane as far as like news and stuff goes. We're hitting it all. And we're hitting it in what I like to think we're hitting it relatively while it's hot, so there you go.
That's unusual, man. They did stuff before we actually started recording this time, so thanks guys, appreciate it.
I understand it more when the weekly guys miss them because they're like, oh man, we recorded and then they uploaded something that night, but like, we're monthly, so it's like if we miss something, it's like, oh, okay, let's get 4 more weeks and then we'll be talking about it, guys. Thank you.
Yeah, so thanks for giving us a one-up here.
Yeah, a little bit. Alright, so we've got a lot to talk about. First, we're going to talk about Atomic Mass Games. Second, we're going to talk about Luke Skywalker. Third, we're going to talk about some new point changes and erratas we got.
Yeah, and that's going to probably be the fun part of the thing. It's all going to be fun, but that's going to probably be the funnest because we have a lot of opinions. I'm sure everybody else there does. And
yeah, the first 2 topics are very mixed.
Yeah.
So let's just go ahead and dive right in. So
Atomic Mass Games.
Atomic Mass Games is taking over Legion.
I remember when they announced Atomic Mass Games down at Gen Con, and they pulled out the stops showing the Marvel stuff, and I'm like, yeah, those are kind of cool. When are you going to do the Legion stuff? And from what I've seen of their models, I know you have a little bit of a thing with them, but once they're together and painted, they look really nice. So I'm hoping maybe they'll keep up the quality with at least making them nice. And we'll get into the downfalls, but...
Yeah, I was going to say, let's talk about what this means first. First off, what this means is Fantasy Flight Games is no longer going to be making Star Wars Legion, Star Wars Armada, or Star Wars X-Wing. And production and development, design, all of those things are now moving over to Atomic Mass Games, which both of those companies are under the parent company Asmodee. So it's technically staying in-house, but at the same time not really because... the dev team and the design team and a lot of the people so far from what I know, the playtesters as well, everyone so far over at Fantasy Flight that worked on these games or at least on Legion, I don't know about the other ones, but at least on Legion, a lot of those people ended up just getting cut. Particularly Alex Davey and Luke Eddy are no longer the lead designers for Legion or at FFG at all.
Yeah, I felt bad for those guys. They put a lot of work in this game and then just to be boomed. I mean, I don't know the circumstances, so I can't really speak on it, but
all I know is FFG and them pretty much got blindsided by this from what it sounds like, and that Atomic Mass Games seemed a little more prepared for this, like they kind of knew this merger was coming. And yeah, I feel really bad for Alex and Luke, like, man, like, they have made such an excellent game, and that we talk about how many things we love about it. We've done all the communities you've seen, and everything you've seen from Legion, and all the videos, all the channels, all the great podcasts, all this stuff came out of their game, and their game is so good that it can do all this. And, you know, it's got, I don't I can understand where people's fear is coming from, because there's like, there's a lot of people that think about projects that they know of that lost their lead dev or like their visionaries, and then like what happened to those projects. And everyone probably has one or two horror stories they're thinking of.
Most of the time they just disappear and you don't see them hardly ever again. That or the worst, other than them just being flushed down the toilet completely, is somebody else gets them in their hand and they mess it all up. Yep. And it's like, that's not my game. And then, you've lost the guys that did know how to do it. You're dealing with people who don't know how to do it. And then you've invested so much time and money. I worry more about the time I've invested. The money, yeah, that's a lot of money and stuff, but I love this game. I spend a lot of time painting stuff for this game. I spend a lot of time talking about this game. And, I brought a lot of people into this game, and now, it's not uncertain. The game's going to go on. It's not going to go away, I'm sure. It's just, how's it going to go on? Or what are they going to change now that we're all used to it? One way, what are they going to do differently? And it might be better. It might be 10 times a better game. You don't know that, but it may be 20 times worse. You don't know. And I think that's what the fear factor comes in. Everybody gets used to stuff, especially us old guys. We don't like change. Now we got to learn new rules. I don't like to learn rules. I don't like rules to begin with. But now I got to go and learn.
Says the TO.
Yeah, says the TO.
I hate rules.
I hate rules. Yeah, no, I just like randomly going, you can't do that. And they go, why? Because I said so. Because I'm the head TO.
I said so, and I got the rules doc. You want me to look at it? They're like, no.
Oh, okay. Because it's written in the back in crayon. You can't do that. But anyway, sorry, went on a rant.
Yeah, a lot of people just had a lot of fear of, like change. When I first heard this thing at first, I was also pretty, like, upset and worried about, like, where this game was going. I've got enough going on. I'm sure all of us have enough going on in our life right now that we also don't need, like, our arguably our favorite game getting its future put in question. It's not, I don't think it's going away. I'm almost positive that the game's not going to get flushed, like, super soon or anytime soon. It's Atomic Mass Games, while it's still relatively new, is still handling, like, their one game right now is Marvel Crisis Protocol, so really all we have to do to speculate and compare to is that. So, what what we know about Atomic Mass Games and what we know about Marvel Crisis Protocol mean for what Legion and Armada and X-Wing could look like? I mean, we're going to focus on Legion, because good luck those other guys.
Yeah.
But is my main question that I had was when I figured out that, like, Alex wasn't going to be involved, is Legion still going to feel like Legion? And I think that's a completely reasonable question to ask, because you're not going to have your visionary behind it anymore. You're not going to have the guy who put his blood, sweat, and tears into making the game that we all love so much. Are you going to find somebody who's just as well a Star Wars fan and a games fan as much as maybe not as much as, but the same way that Alex was? Because I know Atomic Mass has a lot of veterans in the gaming industry behind it, but do they have, like, the same Star Wars fans behind it?
And that's where quick Alex Davies story, got to do it. Okay. We're setting at Adepticon, first year that they were running the big tables at Legion, and we're sitting there, and I knew who he was. I've seen his picture a million times, and we're sitting playing, and he happens to walk by at the end of the table, and of course, me, I'll talk to anybody, so I just scream his name at him, and he stops, and he kind of rolls on his heels and turns and looks at me, and I'm like, could you come here for a minute? And he kind of looks around, and I'm like, yeah, you. And he's like, okay. So he comes over, and he says, how you doing? I'm like, I'm Bob Swaim. I played da-da-da-da-da. Great game. Love your game. Awesome game. Why in the hell are the Empire so much better than the Rebels? And he kind of just looks at me, and he goes, because I like them better. That's why. And we proceeded to have about a 20-minute conversation during the game I was playing, and I lost that game because I was rather talk to him than play. But I got a lot of insight and a lot of background and where he came from and what he liked and why he liked stuff and why he designed stuff the way he did. And this was like the first year that it was out that they actually been to a big convention. And I knew right then, I thought, okay, this game is going to be my new, this is where I'm going to throw all my money for gaming and stuff, because he took the time. he didn't know me from anybody at that time, and I've talked to him quite a few times. So we talk every once in a while, and when I read that they were he had gotten cut unceremoniously. On top of that always hurts. Getting let go hurts, but man, when they just kind of come in and go, oh, by the way, get out. And I don't know if that's the way that happened. I didn't ask him because I don't care. That's none of my business. But it was sad. It was really sad to see him go because I knew he cared about us. He cared about the game, and he was putting his all into it to take care of it. And so, I'm good. I wished him good luck and everything on the thing the other day, and he wrote me back and we had a little tiny conversation about stuff because I know he's really busy, but it's just, it sucks, but we have to have faith in the game that it's going to go on and that they're going to take care of it. I mean, Asmodee's out there to make money, so they're not going to cut off their nose to spite their face. They probably have a plan in place, and it's just, I don't like the way they handled it, but what do you do? Stuff happens every day.
Right. Yeah, I was gonna say I'm mostly just hoping that oh, now I didn't find the guy's name, but the people who are gonna be running the show behind the design of Legion and basically filling Alex Davies' shoes. Look at his shoes, filling their shoes. We've got to make sure that I've just got to hope. I don't know that it's a job. But I just hope that they share the same love of Star Wars that like Alex Davey does. Because without naming anything, because I don't want to bash anybody, I can think of some Star Wars projects that have come out of Disney that were made by Star Wars fans, like in the industry. I'm not talking about like fan-made stuff. But I can think of some major, show that's being made by like dedicated hardcore Star Wars fans at heart. And I can think of maybe a movie, maybe a couple movies that seem to be not made by the same kind of hardcore fans at heart and seem more for the money kind of goal. And it's a disparity between the fans of what they like and what they don't. And it's a very clear, concise, was this made by a hardcore Star Wars fan or was this made by someone who their objective was to make money? You can tell. you can tell the difference. And that's definitely something that I'm like, hey, let's all think more like Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni.
I was going to say, are you just going to say their name? Because you basically just described them perfectly.
I mean the good people I will.
Yep, there you go.
I won't name any bad people because that's just poor-spirited.
That is. We're not in that. We're in the happy factory, not the bring everybody down factory.
Exactly. So, going along with that, going in the making people happy factory, there are some good changes that we can definitely see coming out of this.
You saw that they posted what they were going to do with OP, so kind of. I mean, they give us
They posted an entire article that said, yes, we're doing organized play. And that's like and yes, we're aware COVID is happening. And yes, we'll do it when it's safe because everyone should be safe. That's all it said. The whole article said that.
It did say though that it was going to help. It was going to focus on the competitive, but it said that it was also going to focus at the store level, which really made me feel a little bit better because while I get to play and I love to play, I run games. I have a store that's not my store. Sometimes I feel like it's my store, or at least partially my store. Love you, Slade, but still. But sometimes, it's like, what are we going to do if that goes away? Because, I mean, that's one of his bread and butter things. So, to me, that made me feel better that they mentioned the retail stores. They were going to take care of the retail stores and the competitive players. Because I think that group is a big mix. There was something online where people said, is OP play competitive play? And the thing that had the most votes was, it's both. So that's one thing about the community. I mean, you can go down and have a really good fun game, and then you can turn around and go play the next week, and it's stupid competitive. And you'll see the guy setting off to the side with a table of new people while he's running, a bunch of competitive guys. And that's what I love about this game, that it's not just competitive. If you don't want to play by the rules, make your own rules and play. That's the fun of it. or if you do play competitive, there's a 98-page book out there with all the rules you'll ever want.
Pretty much. Legion is about as complex as you want to make it.
It is, but
if you just want to have a fun casual game, just go have that fun casual game. If you want to play, if you want to make sure that you're playing by like all the competitive rules and make sure you've got everything down to a T, then you have the resources to do that. It's fun for everybody.
Exactly. But I'm willing to give them a chance. I mean, we have to be because it's our
totally.
game. But
yeah, what are we gonna do? Say no?
No, we're just gonna quit. We're just gonna
no chance.
Thousands of dollars that we haven't thrown out in the road. Yeah, no. But yeah, I think it might be good. I don't know. It's like just preliminaries. We have no idea. You're not going to know till what, March, April, probably.
Right.
Before they really start kicking stuff out, because I know we still got specialists coming out for CIS and for GAR and Lando. Everybody's got Lando on the head, and then Callus. So I had heard somewhere that they had. Those were definitely still coming out. I heard the Armada stuff is still coming out because I'm really excited for the GAR stuff for that. I don't even play Armada, and I'm super excited for that because I might just have to start playing. But I think it's one of those crossroads to where we make the good choices and they make the good choices, everything will be great. And if they make the bad choices, then we're going to go off the cliff.
So they are definitely continuing the game, obviously. But like, what differences are we going to see? I feel like we might see a different release schedule than what we saw at FFG, as it's been kind of mentioned before, and I think Legion Academy mostly mentioned it. The FFG had a lot of problems, like kind of supporting both being a board and card game at its heart, but then starting to try and dive into minis, whereas Atomic Mass Games has been a dedicated minis company from day one. So we might see, a better release schedule or a faster release schedule because Marvel Crisis Protocol seems to come out so fast.
Every 2 minutes there's a new model out there. It's
pretty
like,
much.
Whoa, what the hell is that? That's new. When did
now
that
that's all assuming that, their whole team isn't getting divided up into four. You have to keep in mind that, their resources are going to get divided into 4 games now. So who knows if Marvel Crisis Protocol is even going to be as fast as it is right now, or if the other games are going to get faster or stay the same rate, or like what's going to happen. We're not sure. Well, again, we're just comparing off what we know of that game compared to what we know about our game. Their models are also everyone says that like Marvel Crisis Protocol's figures are like phenomenal and like super highly detailed, and like I agree. What the thing I don't agree about that I don't see anybody saying is that sometimes those models just don't fit together at all. I've never used more green stuff to fix a model than when I did with my Marvel Crisis Protocol core box, and I was so frustrated, but it worked. I got it to work, okay?
Disclaimer, this is the part where Ben gets to rant like I normally do, and I'm just going to sit here and listen to him go.
Oh, that's my whole rant. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to harp on a whole bunch of bad. It's just I had so much frustration green stuffing those models together, and if I imagine having to do that for every Legion release, I will lose my hair.
Well, cool. Do we have anything else we want to talk about Atomic Mass? Not Atomic Games in Muncie, Indiana, where we play.
Well, we might see a price increase because, as we know, Marvel Crisis Protocol is more expensive than Legion by per box.
It's a lot.
At the same time, it might be a matter of how much you're spending for how much you can play in a game. As of right now, I feel like it's kind of similar because, if you're only buying 1 copy of something for Marvel, but you're buying 2 to 3 copies of something for Legion. So it's like as of right now, you're kind of paying equal price for the game. So if Legion sees a price increase, then you're probably going to see it becoming a more expensive game than Crisis Protocol.
So tell me because I don't play Protocol, I've seen models, but I really don't remember.
Sure.
Are they Legion models are what, 28 millimeter, 929, somewhere around in there, whatever it is.
Like 147 scale or something.
Yeah, whatever scale it is. Are the Marvel Crisis Protocol? They're bigger, aren't they? Because I know that
they're
whole
bigger.
monster. So there's a lot of cost involved in trying to get all that tooled and get it printed and
yeah, so
get it out.
We're not gonna see a different scale. There's no way.
No, they better not.
There's no way they could do. I don't think they could.
I was just wondering if that would play into the costs, because
sure.
the mold that might be where you see your cost differences is, but they might use the same material in the same time to make like a Hulk figure that they would to make 7 or 8 different little stormtroopers or whatever. So it'll be interesting to see where that price point falls.
Yeah, we'll see. I think there was the only other thing that like organized play we were talking about earlier is probably going to be completely re-overhauled. On their website they've talked about supporting stuff like, and Legion Academy also touched on this. They talked about like Atomic Mass Games supports stuff like hobby nights and how to do that in your store. They like to give a lot of prizes and kits out to their players and organized play kits and stuff. They've also got painted model, they said something about like they like to give prizes out for people that show up with painted models. So that's cool. I'd love to see that. I would love to, I love organized play kits and I love all the promos and stuff that FFG does. I am excited to see what Mass Games does with their organized play kits and what that looks like for Legion, because I like my stuff.
I collect everything, especially the clone stuff. So yeah,
yep.
It'll be cool to see what kind of new stuff they do put out. Maybe they'll have something unique. Legion put out the certificates for, best paint jobs on stuff. And while it had nothing to do with the game, it was still cool to stick one on your wall and say, hey, I won best commander or best whatever. Cause most of us, I don't know, everybody out there probably doesn't, but we all have Star Wars museums at our house. I'm sitting in one right now. You can't look without seeing. You really cannot tell the color of the wall in this room I'm in because of all the Black Series stuff that he's got in here. But,
mine is broken up in several different sections, but when I move, it'll all be organized and look much nicer.
Get you a room. Speaking of where I'm at, I really need to give a shout out to Jay Belt. I was supposed to be in a different location tonight and it kind of fell through, and I called him up about 2 hours before and said, hey, can I use your museum room to do this podcast tonight? And without even a hesitation, he's like, yeah. So thanks, Jay. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Jay Belt. Okay, last thing that I wanted to say about AMG. All right, Atomic Mass. Listen to me closely, please. I beg you. I'm asking. If this were December, I'd say this were for Santa. We're getting around that time. This is my Santa wish for Mr. Atomic Mass Claus. If I get anything out of this, please, aside from keeping the game as thematically perfect as it is, please, hold those valid world invites, please. I don't know if I could get another one, man. I stumbled into my.
I don't know. You were pretty lucky on that first one.
I know. Yeah. I don't know if I can bumble into a second one, man.
That's the other day, and I'm like, oh god, he's gonna cry if they take that away.
Yeah, I'm so worried. I'm like, look, I will level with you, Atomic Mass. If it takes like 2 years for us to get a world invite, for these world invites to stay valid, if it's going to take like 2 years of organization before we get to see them used, I don't care. I'll do anything to hold on to this invite. If we get canned, I'm going to be so sad, because then I have to try and get another one, and unlike all these other people that have them, I'm not that good, so I don't know how I'm going to get another one.
I can vouch for that. No, just kidding. You earned it. Of course,
I did, and I don't mean to like play down anyone I played against or anything in that tournament, because that seems kind of mean for me to say, like, oh, I bumbled into it, and then it makes me look, then it makes my opponents look bad. My opponents did very, very well.
Your opponents were dead on. It's just
the
luck of
I felt lucky. I felt lucky is what I was. I played. Anyway, we're not going to harp on that. You get it. I'm not insulting any of you guys. You all did great. Everyone did great at that whole tournament. I always have this feeling like I bumbled into my world invite, because I was like, what's happening this whole day? I was like, what's happening? Anyway, we can't harp on that every single episode.
Nope. No, we can't. Anyway, let's move on.
overall, I hope to see a lot of good things come from AMG. I'm willing to give them a decent shot. I'm looking forward to it. Just don't leave us in the dark too long, guys. I love that I hear a lot of cool things about how responsive you are and how often you're putting out updates and stuff. And I get that this is a weird transition time. Just try not to leave us in the dark too long. All right.
Cool.
Love you guys. And love you, Alex Davey.
Yep.
All right.
Peace.
We say peace, but Bob's just moving on.
Now we're going to shoot stuff. Okay.
Not done.
No.
Although, I'm going to take this opportunity real quick in between segments.
This is our advertisement segment. Here we go. Go.
Legion Academy.
Love those guys.
You heard of them before.
Talk to them every day.
They're our parent podcast. Joe DePinto, Sean Morris, putting on an awesome show at Legion Academy on YouTube. They've got the sweet YouTube channel where they do streams every Tuesday night to talk about cool stuff like we do. They do Friday night fights, although technically because of quarantining and coronavirus, Friday night fights is not going on right now because of the regulations in Sean's area. So, don't be afraid to check out their channel on Friday nights though, because if it's anything like last Friday, they'll occasionally be doing Friday streams instead. They did a Friday stream talking about the new RRG, which we're going to talk about in a little bit. They did a much deeper dive. They went as deep as you could get. We're going to do like a fraction of that. They absolutely did a phenomenal job with their whole video. Be sure to go check that out if you want a deeper dive in the new stuff. They also do that's more on the Terrain Studio. That's Sean. But, I mean, check out all the stuff that they do. It's great. They got a Patreon that does awesome stuff. They're doing Mandalorian silhouettes and a Mythosaur skull silhouette for November for their Patreon followers. December, I don't know if this is confirmed, but I've heard rumor we might be getting Bane tokens.
That would be Cad Bane, not the real Bane, which is the guy with the double lightsaber that did the rule of two.
Oh, that guy. I thought you were going to go into, like, not Batman villain.
No, not Batman villain either.
Not getting Batman villain tokens.
Although that old Bane kind of looked like him. Kind of. He was bald and huge, so.
You think the Smoke and Mirrors token is your ally?
Oh, God, not that version of him. I love Tom Hardy. Venom was amazingly cool, but man, what the hell, dude? Why did you lose a bet that you had to put that Bane outfit on? Because that was just weird.
You think the
Now
Here
we're
I
back
Am
to
token
podcast.
is your ally?
Yeah.
I was bored in it.
Okay.
Bored by it.
I am going to kick you next. Actually, I'm going to hit you with my cane next time I see you. You got to stop that voice, man.
I mean, I'm sitting across from you right now in the ship. Remember?
Yeah, I know, but I got to get my cane. So.
It's too far.
Yeah, too far.
Too far, right?
Yeah, you know the first part of that, but yeah, too far.
Yeah. Anyway, so be sure to check out Legion Academy. They do lots of awesome stuff. They got a new website that's almost done. That's going to be super cool. They're going to be putting, they're going to be putting tokens up on their shop soon when that's all said and done, which is going to be awesome.
They make really nice tokens too. I've got one of everything they put out, and they're high quality stuff. I mix them in with my cardboard ones and the ones I've got from FFG. And usually when I pull them out, it's usually, oh, that's really cool. Where'd you get that? And I'm like, from Legion Academy. And they'll have them on the website, and you'll be able to get you some, sometime when they get it done, which it looks like it's going to be pretty soon.
Oh yeah. And the last thing I want to mention, our own in-house dice time, we got stuff going on too. We have videos. We do things. We've got more videos that are going to be coming out soon. We've moved our Legion Academy. We've moved our Legion videos over from the original Dice Time channel to the Legion Academy's channel, so you can find it all in one place. So Dice Time, me and Josh are going to be doing some. We're going to do the Escape Pod next. We're going to do the Escape Pod missions. We also have another project that I've had in the works for quite a while that I might start getting the leg up on soon. And both of those things will be on the Legion Academy YouTube channel pretty soon, so don't forget to check that out. We were basically waiting for the new points and erratas and stuff because we didn't want to make a video and then weeks later have it be completely null and void because now the game is different. So now that those are out, it's a new world. Let's do it. All right. I'm done advertising, Bob.
Okie doke.
Lead us into our next segment.
Okay, we are going to talk about the new Luke Skywalker from Hoth. My guy over at Atomic Games, he loves anything from Hoth. He plays Tauntauns. He's got 3 sets of the Rebel veterans out there. Doesn't care he doesn't win with them. He still has a good time. He's one of those guys that likes to play for fun. So when this came out, that they were going to come out.
What is this, Bob?
I was going to
What
say,
is this model for people that don't know?
it's a Luke Skywalker. It's after he crashed his snowspeeder. You can do all kinds of neat things with it. It's got a helmet that's got the visor down, and then it's got a helmet that's got the visor up, and then it's got him just without his helmet. You get a lightsaber, so you can go him going through the snow with his lightsaber on. He has his DL-44 out on that, and the cool thing, and thank you FFG for doing this, if you decide you do want to put the DL-44 on there, which he never really got it out when he was in that flight suit, but still, they gave you a lightsaber, an unlit lightsaber that you can hang on his belt.
Uh-huh.
And it's beautiful. I actually opened a box of, I'm going to be painting one for the owner over there. And I got the box open tonight and looked at it, and it's stinking amazing. It looks just like Mark Hamill. The Mark Hamill face sculpt is beautiful. The only thing that I saw that I didn't like just by the glancing at it is they made the helmet 2 pieces. So you've got the helmet 2 pieces, and then the face is another piece. So you've got 3 pieces, and I understand people like the hobby and stuff, but to me, out of all the things you could have done, that wasn't where I would have went. Like the body is 2 pieces. You got the legs, the front of his body with the legs and stuff, and then it's got a back piece that slaps on the back, and that's the whole body. You have 2 arms, and then you have this 3 pieces of head. So it's like, okay, that's kind of a weird way to go. The one without the helmet is just a head sculpt, like the Rex sculpts and stuff like that. But it looks like it's going to be pretty easy to paint.
Bob, have you ever seen a Marvel Crisis Protocol figure or assembled one?
I've seen one assembled, yeah.
Have you seen them on their spools?
No, on the sprues? No, I have not seen one.
My thing to you when you were saying like the helmet is 2 pieces, my advice to you is get used to it.
Yeah,
it's gonna, man, Crisis Protocol figures are so many pieces. Even for small stuff, it's like, man, why is this 3 pieces?
I refuse to play droids because of all the pieces. So yeah, I imagine
just
I'm gonna have
more
to
stuff going to be like that. Well, okay, it might not, but if we're just going off of what we know, it could be more like that.
I honestly miss the old ones that were in a bag and you basically stuffed them together and you could move the arms a little bit and do whatever you want and just throw them, get ready to paint. But we'll see what goes on.
I love the new stuff right now. I'm all about the customization. Anyway,
I love being able to customize.
All that aside.
But that Luke, he's going to be so
in case you're still wondering what this Luke is, this Luke was the 3rd exclusive figure. Now, I say exclusive because they've done 2 in the past, and they're basically like a one-time run exclusive that they do as a promotion. So, the first one that they did was Darth Vader.
At
Celebration. At Star Wars Celebration. The second one that they did was Obi-Wan, which they did at another convention, a tabletop convention in Germany.
Yeah, it was Germany. Yeah, that was cool, and that one is really, the Vader one's okay. I'm learning to like the Imperials, but the Kenobi one, it was like right out of the movie. It was really neat.
Yeah.
I liked it a lot.
Now this third one is Luke, the Luke that Bob was perfectly describing. And so these were all handled kind of differently. So
okay. Before you go any further, let me finish up the description.
Oh, sure. Yes.
This is a really cool model because it's on the right size base. It's not like the Vader one that was on the rocks or whatever, or the Kenobi that was on the gangway up there that was breaking down. This one's actually on the right size base for a small figure. But they've actually molded the snow into it, and it looks like part of the gun off of the Rex snow speeder. It honestly looks like he's walking over it, or some piece of metal like that. So not only is it an exclusive, it's the first one that actually has a cool molded base that's the right size. So you don't have to worry about moving it if you are going to play it on the boards. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen a Vader or a Kenobi out on a game table, but this one, if you want to take it out there, it's going to fit through the doorways and the pieces a lot better than the Kenobi or the Vader. Sorry,
I've seen the Vaders. I've seen the Vaders on tables. I don't think I've ever seen a Kenobi one in person, though.
I would love to have one of those so bad.
Yeah. Anyway, so these three were all handled differently. Vader was through FFG's booth at Star Wars Celebration. Obi-Wan was through. I actually don't know much about how Obi-Wan's was handled. I presume it was through FFG's booth at what was the convention, Bob?
Oh, dude, I do not remember the name of it. It was.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it was in Germany though.
Well, yeah, it was in Germany. I know that.
Yeah. I can't remember the name of it. Yeah, not important. They got him. We did not.
Well, important, but.
The Luke is a weird one because you know that was going to be given at some convention this year, maybe Gen Con even, possibly.
I was kind of hoping. I'd like to get more love. But they advertised that Luke was going to be given out. 3 models were going to be given to stores that purchased Legion that made orders for Legion stuff in November, and then they were going to ship out in December. So what really happened, unlike what was said, what really happened was that stores were given between 1 and 3 models, and they all shipped like mid-November. So there was some good and some bad there.
Yeah, they just kind of showed up. It was like, what we
it was
get
just,
those yet?
It was like, oh, okay, they're here, a month early. But the other thing that I heard was that, some stores didn't get them at all. I should have said 0 to 3. Some stores didn't get them at all, even though they made Legion purchases and made that and did all that. Some got like 1. Some got 3. I think there's a corner case. Maybe 1 got more. I'm not positive on that, so I won't say that.
Maybe that store had 2 or 3 stores in their chain.
Oh,
so they placed orders for each store, so therefore they got 9 or whatever the total was finally there. Because everybody was like, how the hell did they get 9 or whatever it was? And I was thinking, well, they probably have multiple stores.
So basically they were shipped to the stores, and then they were and then beyond that, it was kind of just like, do whatever you want with it. It's yours now. So, there were a lot of options. Some stores were giving them out they would hold an event and they would do like a tournament or something. They would give that out. Some of them have been doing store promotions. So like buy this much Legion stuff and you'll get put in like a raffle. Some of them are doing raffles. Some stores were giving them to like their customer. They were just giving them to their customers. Like, hey, you've been a great Legion customer, or hey, you've been leading Legion events and stuff. You've been like our community leader. You can just have one of these. Some stores were selling them, and boy howdy, were the prices wild when it comes to how they were selling them.
It's nuts.
And then some just straight took them to eBay and scalped them for as much as they could.
I've seen stores go from $20 all the way up to like $150 just for stores. Most of them were around the $40 mark.
Yeah.
That I saw, which is it's an exclusive.
Yeah.
It's the thing about it is if you've got the starter set from the first go around, you've got all the cards. The cards are not any different. The art's just exactly the same.
No, the art's different.
Huh?
The art's different.
Is the art different?
Yeah, it is.
I didn't look at the cards because Slade kept his cards.
Well, they always do different art on the exclusive
I will have to take a look
at
that. I stand corrected. I apologize.
Oh, you're fine.
Slade opened his and took his cards and said, here's the model, paint it. And I'm like, okay, cool. And I honestly haven't opened mine yet. Cause where we play, the owner got them and he's like, what should we do with these? And I'm like, I know you're going to take one. And he said, yeah, it's hot. And I'm like, yeah, that's cool. And he pays a lot of money and he does a lot of stuff for us. And it's his electricity, his building, his insurance, him promoting and everything. So I understand. That's cool. And then he said, what are we going to do with the other 2? And I'm like, I really don't know. And he handed me one. And he's like, well, that's what we're doing with that one. And I'm like, oh, cool. And again, it was that you lead the community, you run games all the time. You take stuff, your time from your personal life and your wife and your grandkids and stuff to come run events, and you run great events because we get a lot of people playing. And, I just want you to have this. And I'm like, okay, cool. Thank you very much. And what we're going to do is on the 5th of December, we're still allowed to run games. Everybody's going to be wearing masks, and we're going to make sure we wipe everything down really good in between games and be as safe as possible. We are going to give away one in a raffle because we sat down and we talked, and nothing against winners. I mean, you guys practice really hard and stuff, and that's cool and stuff, but the winner always gets a lot of stuff. He gets to win. He gets the best prize kit. when we distributed them and stuff. So he was like, "What's the best way to do this?" And I said, "We have a raffle. That way, everybody that comes in pays to get into the game. We usually charge $5 on our Saturdays, weekends, help pay for the cost of the kits and everything. And we hand out prizes like crazy. We've mentioned that before. I'm not going to go into that, but I said, let's just give them a ticket. Everybody who pays and plays and stuff, and even if we do like 500 point tables teach and stuff, that we should give them a raffle ticket and just have a raffle. And at the end of the night, we reach in, we pull it out, and whoever gets the winning ticket, that's who's going home with a Luke. And after that, it's theirs to do with it. If they don't play Rebels and they don't want it, I mean, that's up to them what they do with it. But hopefully they'll give it to one of the Rebel players or somebody will use it. But that's just, I think, is the best way to hand stuff out like that.
Yeah. But yeah, and so I was like, yeah, I mean, like, that's good. So far from what I've heard, I haven't heard a lot of cases of what they've done with Luke where I'm like, that seems kind of bad. I haven't heard a lot of that, and even the stores that are selling them for a lot of money, it's like, it's coming down to supporting your local store, and I get it. If they're just going straight to eBay and scalping it for like $300 some odd, I'm like, all right, this doesn't seem totally kosher to me.
What I heard, what they were trying to do, FFG was trying to take care. They had them because they printed them obviously for some reason, probably a Gen Con or something like that, and they needed to do something with them, and they knew that the stores were hurting because of COVID and stuff, so they give it to them, and if they needed to, they could sell it for a little bit of extra cash.
Yeah.
And pad it a little bit, or they could give it out if they were doing okay and stuff. Then put it out in a tournament and either give it to the winner or give it raffle or whatever you want to do. I've even heard some people have done charity events with it where you could bid on it.
That was what was it? Titan.
Yeah, Titan. Good
job.
Yeah,
they're doing that. And that was, I think they were being advertised through Keith over at Jedi Hunter, which sadly has ended its first season. They're taking a break. I was so sad. I was like, oh, but I love them.
Man, I hate to see anybody go away. That just blows. I mean, it's tough.
They're not going away forever. Keith, if you're listening, we're fans over here. Hi.
Yeah, we are. Hi. Thank you for your content and throwing stuff out there. That's cool.
But yeah, so our store, I didn't expect for my store to get them because we don't really do that much Legion. I have tried on 2 or 3 separate occasions to get a Legion community going, and it doesn't always pan out. My store is, technically my store is Atomic Games.
I was going to say, keep talking that way.
My local store.
My
local store is Game Preserve in Bloomington, Indiana, for now, until I move. But for right now, that's been the store that I've lived near for most of my life right now. And
you don't drive 2 hours to just come pick up like a pot of paint and then go back home?
No, I don't actually.
Damn it.
I go down there and I say hi to Tyler. Hi, Tyler. And
hi, Tyler.
He keeps he does a really good job taking care of his player base. When he got the 3 Legion Lukes, which we didn't actually expect he would get, but first off, I had to tell him about them, which was kind of like, as a lot of people I'm sure had, awkward conversations with their store leads about, hey, so you're getting these promos, I don't know if you know that, and then what are you going to do with those? It was kind of an awkward conversation, but I knew it was going to be fine because Tyler's a good guy, and it was okay. At no point was I like, are you getting them? Can I get one? I was telling him what other stores were doing and how he wanted to handle it was completely up to him. He figured out that he was getting them. They came in, and then he said, and he asked me some questions about like what other stores were doing and like blah 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 blah. They're not doing any events right now because of like how our local area and how their company and all that are handling it. They're just not allowed to run any events right now because that was a couple of the suggestions that I did. He eventually just went, okay, tell you what, we have like 3 customers in the store who regularly buy Legion and that's it. So we're just going to give them to you guys. So you get the first one because out of all of the customers, 1, you've spent the most, 2, you are our unofficial community leader because you've tried to start this community. You've done demos before. You've run a couple events. So like you get the first one. My roommate Josh got the second one because he is like second in as far as like what he spends on Legion, because me and him go in all the time, and you will know we'll do that. And then there was another group. There was a father and a son that came in to one or two of the events that we had run in the past. That still, like buy Legion like through them. So they got the third one. And then like they don't really have that many other normal Legion customers. So he was just like, you guys just have them, and what's done is done. Thanks for helping us, guys. And I was just like, yeah, that's awesome. So thank you. And so yeah, I got one. Let's real briefly. I want to look at pose a theory question. How is the best way to handle these Legion exclusive figures?
That's rough.
It's a rough question, and it's tough. I get it. I'm gonna say that Fantasy Flight is getting better at, or rather, not is getting, did better each time, and I'm hoping Atomic Mass Games can take some notes and some lessons based on how it's happened in the past. So let's start at the beginning. Vader, in my opinion, absolutely the worst handled exclusive of the three.
That was well, I can't say that word, but that was a poo show, is what that was.
Yeah, that's definitely how it was. And I can tell you from personal experience how it felt to get gypped of Legion exclusive Vader. I've told the story before, I'll briefly tell it again. I was at Celebration. One of the only things I wanted to do at Celebration was to get that exclusive Vader. I was only going for a day. I was going on the first day. And I went in, I got in fairly early and got to stand in line for the vendor hall. And I got, fairly early on in the line, and I knew that all these people were going to be going to other places. And so I was like, my odds that I'm going to be getting in and going to be one of the first 50 people in line for FFG is pretty solid, based on how many people are in front of me and based on where I feel like the traffic is really going to be going when the vendor hall opens up. I feel pretty good about my chances, and I had the map pulled up. I knew exactly where to go. The doors opened. I got in. A minute later, I was at FFG's line. I was about 30 or so people back. And there's a guy going around saying that all the Vaders are gone. I'm like, what in the heck? This line hasn't even moved fast. How many were there?
How does this happen?
How does this happen? And we find out that they sell them all to the vendors or to other vendors and people that came through before the doors even open to the public.
That's where VIP tickets suck, because those guys come in and they buy all that stuff up, and then the regular general admission guys, they can't get them.
So that was, in my opinion, toxic as hell. That was not fun at all, and my heart broke a little bit because I can't really afford to go to Celebration. Let me start by saying this. I'm somehow making my bills playing this hobby and making one convention a year. That year I pushed 2. And Celebration was one of them, and Celebration is expensive. And it was in Chicago, which I had to, we had to drive up to Chicago, stay there, and then drive home the same night. So it was a long day. A lot of money went into Celebration that I didn't have, but I spent anyway because it's Star Wars, it's Celebration, it's awesome, and I really wanted Vader. There was a couple other exclusive things I wanted that I didn't get either, but it's whatever. I got good stuff out of I had a good time at Celebration, I'll say that, but this was one of the bad things. This was one of my least favorite parts of Celebration, was that. And that felt awful. I don't think that was a good way to get Vader into the hands of your collectors and your player base at all. Who it got into the hands of was scalpers and people that have way too much money on their hands.
Now I can tell you one good story that came out of that.
Sure.
I have some friends that were up there. They do a charity thing, and they had actually got permission from Lucas to actually go in there and let people know about their charity, which to me was really freaking awesome. I'd been going to they run one big event a year, and it's held all over the world. I mean, people all over play it. I think Australia actually got in on it last year, or year before last, because they couldn't do it this year. But I know that one of the guys there, he was walking around, and he actually got to the line in time and got one of them. And I'm like, oh, scalper. And he's like, no, dude, we put it in the charity. And I forget how much they made. They made a squat load of money on it, and it all went to their charity, which is, I think, St. Jude's, children's, thing. Cause they're big into helping kids with cancer. So I'm like, all right, see, that I condone. That's awesome. The scalpers piss me off. I didn't even care. I didn't really even want one of them because I don't play Imperial. Well, I didn't play Imperial, and I definitely wouldn't have played Vader. But, I was like, cause you kept hearing all these stories of all the vendors going and scooping them all up, because I had several people that were there, and, you see them out for, $100, $200, whatever they're going for. And, it made me feel good. At least one person that was there did the right thing, even though, they were in there before anybody else and they got one. They ended up selling it and making just, a bunch of money for the charity, which I was like, that's cool. The rest of you guys, shame on you. But
not the rest of the guys, because I know that there were some guys that actually got lucky and were able to get in and get it, some of the other days, because I know, like, the last day, I don't remember who this was. I've heard the story, though, that they went in and they just went by randomly and were like, hey, do you have any Vaders or whatever? And they were like, actually, yeah, because someone they didn't do like a lottery or anything, but they were just like, yeah, like for some reason they just had extras on the last day, and I don't remember why, but they were just like, here you go. And that was it. And I was like, well, I mean, that's cool, but,
what about the rest of us? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I was going to say that the problem with this, how this went, is it got into the hands of, like, scalpers way easier than it got into the hands of your dedicated player base.
And that's weird, because we were at Adepticon.
It's not just weird, it's bad.
Yeah, and we were playing, we were up there and they were doing X-Wing. They had some exclusive, I think it was a CIS ship, and they were handing those out, and we went over to get one and they had ran out that day, but they told us on Sunday, which was the last day of the con, you guys go line up, and they showed us where, and they said that we'll go through whatever we have left. We're not taking any of them home. And so, we got in line. We were, I think, 10th or 12th in line, and we got them. So they knew what they were doing there, and that was before Celebrations. So I don't know why they changed what they were doing, because those ships were going for $60, $80, and I think they were $20 to buy.
Yeah.
Something relatively cheap. But, it was like, okay, and then they turn around and do that with Vader, and I was like, why didn't you use the same logistics or whatever for doing Celebrations?
Right. And I can't speak to how Obi-Wan was handled, because I don't know that much about it. I know that there was similar feelings about how it was handled, so I can only assume that it was done in a similar fashion. But from what I'm told, I think there were more Obi-Wans made, so that wasn't as bad as Vader. Because whether or not you got a Vader, I feel like everyone unanimously agrees that Vader was handled pretty badly. I don't know many people that are like, the way that they did Vader was great and they should do it again.
Yeah.
I don't think I know anyone that said that. Obi-Wan, I'm not gonna speak to Obi-Wan because I really don't have the detail. I can't even remember the name of the convention, so let alone how it was handled. Exactly. I think I remember hearing that more of them were made, though, so that, is a step in the right direction. Now, Luke, I'm going to say the way that they did this is actually better than how they did Vader, and here's why. Yes, it was given to stores, and then the stores were given free reign to do whatever they want with it. Yes, it was kind of dodgy who got them, what stores got them, and what happened with them. Some of them you're playing to competitively to win yours. Some of them are in raffles. Some of them are just being given away. But here's why I feel like it was a better exclusive overall. It got into the hands of players more accurately and more dependably than it did into the players and collectors than into the hands of scalpers. Did it get into the hands of scalpers? Oh, absolutely it did. You can see them online. You can see them for how much they're going. But that's going to happen with any exclusive anything. There's and you and I are examples, and I know tons of other examples I've seen on Facebook of people that just went into the store and either got it for free, got it for $20 or something, because like they run their local community's Legion, or they're really good Legion customers at their local store. And I think that's awesome. And I'm not just saying that because like you and I happen to get them that way, but if I didn't get one, I fully expected our store would not get 3 and that I wouldn't win the raffle at Atomic next month. So I just expected that I wasn't getting a Luke, and then I just so happened to luckily get a Luke. But factually, if I step back without, and I know I'm slightly biased because I did get one, but I'm trying to be as unbiased with this as possible. The idea that it can get into the hands of your players and your collectors through better odds than selling it before general admission at a convention seems like a better exclusive to me.
And I think that's good because the guys that will actually, like you're going to paint it up and use it, and I know you will because that's just the way you are. Oh, I got a new piece, it's kind of cool. Not what I play generally all the time, but I'm going to put it on the table. I'm going to do the same thing. To me, the best thing part of it is when they actually put it out and they showed the picture. This is really funny because I've got 9 grandkids, so I love it when you give them something cool and their eyes get real big and they get all excited and stuff. Was to watch Slade Smith. Goes,
do that.
He's like, oh, it's Luke. It's Luke. Yeah, oh, it's a Hoth Luke. And you could just see, him going, beep. That little bright light went off in his head, and he realized what it was, and he just looks at me. He just side-eyes me and turns his head, and he goes, "You're going to paint this right?" And I'm like, "Oh, yeah, I'll paint this right." He's like, I'm so excited. And, it was a kid on Christmas who just got a lightsaber or something because he got his Luke. And to me, that was a lot of fun to watch because, he owns a store. It's been bad this year. His other business isn't doing very well either because it's an entertainment business. So, he does parties and stuff. And, he's totally been shut down. And he's been down about it, which, I'm sorry, they take away your income, you're going to be sad. And just to watch him brighten up and be all smiley and kind of kid-like for a couple of minutes, before it sets back in that, okay, well, we're still in the middle of the pandemic, but I got this cool ass Luke, And so, yeah, I just got it. It was Sunday. He handed me the box this Sunday, and you're still going to paint this, right? I'm like, yes, dude. Who else paints your stuff but me? But, and I'm like, it'll be an honor to paint this for you, and it's going to be cool. And we went through how he wanted it painted and all the good stuff. So I've got it at home. I got it out of the box. I was going to prime it tonight. I fell going into the house. I've got a bum foot. And I was like, man, I'm just going to prime this when I get home. So we're going to get the first coat of paint on it tonight, and then over the Thanksgiving holiday, which happy Thanksgiving to you guys. You guys will get this after Thanksgiving, but happy Thanksgiving.
I was going to say, we can't wish anyone anything after it already happens. That's a problem with how we do it, with how we do these. We say, but we're gonna have all the end of year holidays by the time that this episode is out. So happy holidays, those are coming up.
Yeah, there you go. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and all that good stuff. There will be another episode before Christmas, right after Christmas.
No, it'll be after, yeah.
That's right.
This is going
It'll
up in
post
December.
on my birthday.
This is the last episode of 2020, Bob.
Thank God. And we're trashed really bad, so it fits. No, just kidding.
It's weird to say this in November, but it's going to be. This is the last time we have to make this podcast and upload it in this terrible year.
Yeah. And you guys can all like listen to the next episode on my birthday, which is January 1st. We do accept presents and cool stuff and well wishes.
Well, hang on. Well, is first going to be a Sunday?
I don't know. Maybe
we're on the first Sunday of each month.
Yeah, I know. But that'll either be
the 3rd.
Yeah,
it'll be January 3rd.
So you're close.
So you know what? We can wish Bob belated birthdays.
There you go.
Anyway, back to Luke. I was going to say that was a fun tangent. In my opinion, it's the best way that an exclusive figure has been handled so far, even if that wasn't the original way it was supposed to be intended.
I think it's
this
really
was
cool.
Better. Now, is it the best? Is it the best way to do it? I still think maybe not, but I think it's close.
So what do you think is the best way?
So I don't know if this is the best way, but I like the idea of it going through stores. Now keep in mind, I think this was just like North America and, Canada and I think Europe got some. I'm actually not sure if that's true, so I won't say that. But exclusive go through worldwide stores. I think that would be a good start. I like that as a start. This is my dream exclusive. This is how, if I have infinite resources and they can do anything, this is how I do it. This is how Atomic Mass Games, take notes, should reasonably do a release of an exclusive figure. So send 3 to your stores like you did. Give one away in a tournament. Give one away for a painting contest. And then do a third one that, like, I don't know, that goes to, like, it goes in a kit for, I don't know, like a raffle, kind of like they're doing. I don't know if that's the best way. But, like, I like the idea of giving them to the stores, making them part of kits, whether they're for a tournament or whether they're for a painting contest or just a store promo. I like doing those better than getting them to VIP scalpers at conventions, because that gets into the hands of the people that are playing your game and are actively going out and doing things, getting your game, buying your game, playing your game locally and making communities. That's how it gets into their hands. I like that. And maybe maybe do a limited, small, short website run. If you can sell it online in your store, very briefly of whatever you got left. That way, everyone has some kind of chance. The players have some kind of chance. Because the worst feeling in the world is getting 90% of the way to the criteria for this exclusive and then still having 0 chance. It's the worst feeling for an exclusive. And if you don't have a store near you and maybe you can access Asmodee, the website, that's how you buy all your stuff, because there's no local game store for you. Or you're not going to have one soon because of COVID, I don't know. But the way that these if you can give everyone some kind of chance, that's the best way to do it. So I like the idea of giving them to your local stores, but maybe have more of a structure for how you do it. Maybe give one away in a tournament, either to your winner or, to somebody. I would think your winner. So that supports your competitive play. Give one to your...
How about best sportsman?
Yeah, I was going to say, you could do, give one to your best painted, and then there's your and then there's your hobbyist side. And then do a third one, and, maybe that one you leave up to the store how they do. So they could make an award like best sportsman, or they could raffle them off to someone random, so that you're just encouraged to come and play, and then you've got your chance. Like Atomic Games is doing, and because I like that better than giving it to the winner, because everyone feels like if they show up, they have equal chance. I like
exactly. That's why we decided when we did it that way.
And
about ready to do sorry.
Yeah, sorry. I was gonna say, I just feel like, however they choose to do it, their exclusives, even if they do a convention exclusive, maybe save some of the stock and do an online. Funko does that with their pops. If they do a convention exclusive, they also do it to shared retailers. Like, there's been Star Wars pops that I've gotten. There were ones at Celebration that I also didn't get to get, and that's a whole other story. But they did shared exclusives with retail stores. So Hot Topic, GameStop, Walmart, those, they get they're a quote unquote convention exclusive, and then it's a limited run that they make one time only. Do something like that, or sell it through your website. If you have, save some stock aside and sell it briefly on your website. Is it going to be sold out in a matter of 2 minutes or 1 minute? Yes, but at least people had some kind of a chance. They have the illusion of having a chance by getting onto the website, and if the website never loaded, fine. But if you got stuck in the shopping cart, fine. But it's better than the 0% chance you had by not going to the convention. You know what I mean? So that's my thoughts on that.
That's pretty much sums up what I think too. I'm ready for point costs and errata stuff.
All
Are
right,
you ready for
move
that?
on to fun stuff before I lose my voice.
I know. I'm about to.
It's been a long day.
I've been coughing, but I've been lucky enough to catch it mute it before. So.
All right, everybody. have a new game called Star Wars Legion.
Yeah, pretty much. They sure don't like the Republic very much either. So let's start with those guys.
Before you get,
I'm gonna get my rant. I'm gonna get my rant before I lose my voice. And
tell you what, Bob.
So
let me just say this: a lot of point changes, a lot of erratas for some of the core fundamental rules. Not too fundamental, but a lot of core fundamental rules got changed. This is by the way, for context, this is the yearly update for Legion that was promised through FFG and Alex Davey. They were going to do once a year point changes. Whether that structure is going to be the same for when Atomic Mass takes over, don't know. But right now they're honoring it, and this is how it looks. So we got our point changes. We got card erratas, and there were a lot of changes made. If you want to see all of the changes, like I said, go check out the document for yourself. It's all the blue text, or go check out Legion Academy's video where they sit there and they explain it to you, and it's very helpful for when you read something new and you go, I don't know, I still don't know how that works, or why did they add this? They explain it for you. So, awesome video, go check those out. We're just going to talk about some of the biggest stuff and our favorite stuff. Bob is going to talk about his least favorite stuff, which is that a lot of his Republic stuff got upgraded, and now they can't share standbys.
Yeah, and I was fine with that. I think that is a great move. That's when I was talking to some people that had some say in what was going on. That was one thing that they pointed out. I said, yeah, man, I really honestly don't care about standbys because we don't use them here very much. Off and on you'll see them, but not very often in Overwatch and all that. So to me that wasn't bad, but yeah, it needed cut because I was told on TTS and stuff it was rampant. It was just disgusting. So, okay, cool, do it. That's fine. The turn 0 generation, they fixed that to where you cannot use,
I was all about that.
Yeah, offensive tactics and, agile. You cannot use that at generation. So like Rex, if he does do a recon move, he doesn't get to activate his tactical. So he doesn't start with tokens, which to me, I don't think was that big of a problem with tactical and agile, because in the first turn, generally you're not going to shoot anything anyway, usually. Now, I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but it does.
Yeah,
but
yeah, I was going to say, Bob, here was the problem, was when you had arcs, and phase 2 clones with long range weapons that were, or with like, your Z6
the range
and
force.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, and your Overwatch clones, and then first turn, Rex plays his, take that clankers, and now all those aims that you generated turn 0 and turn 1 are now getting shared amongst the entire line, down to range 4. It's disgusting.
Yeah, but that was only 2 units with shoot range 4. But still, yeah, I could see it. I'll give them that one.
If you had 5s.
I'll totally give them that one. And I'll give them the Tauntauns, because the Tauntauns, if they're played right, they can be monsters. They can totally be that. So that's cool. I could deal with that. I could deal with the whole standby thing, because it's something I don't use, so it didn't hurt me. I guess I hurt a lot of the competitive guys, because that's what they did. What I did not like, we're going to go to point cost. They upped the arcs like 6 points, and the strike team 6 points, which they've got a lot of stuff. I would have gone maybe 4 points, maybe. I would have just done the standby and the first round generation stuff and see how it went. But they kind of went wholeheartedly into the stuff, and they upped the points on like, our troopers, like I said, were 6, both types. They did take the bark speeder down, which I was really happy with that. It's down to 60 points. They bumped up phase 2s to 62 points. The reason that they did that was the same reason, because with Rex's passing out tokens with the aggressive tactics, which they also bumped another 5 points. He could send out the arc, or the phase 2s were already getting the surge tokens for being reliable, and then Rex would throw some on him, with his when he'd give them a token. And so I could see them having 2 or 3 of the standbys. If you've got 6 sets of phase 2s out there, that's what, 12?
And they only went up 2 points.
Yeah, 2 points. So it's not bad.
Yeah.
It kind of does the cost. Obi-Wan went down 5, which was cool. It looks like all the Force users got a downgrade. Here's the one that hurt a lot of people. I'm not a big secret mission guy. I just, whenever I see an R2, I start shooting at it. It went up to by 10 points, so it's 45 just from them. So R2 and 3PO
I
are
understand.
65. Yeah, you like playing Secret Mission. I'm just like, oh, there's an R2 over there. I'm going to shoot it.
I was not looking forward to. I knew R2 was going to get a points
He
up,
needs
and I was
that.
like, oh man, I know, I get it. It's balanced. It's good. I just felt bad because you feel bad no matter what when you get a points upgrade, even if you totally believe that it was worth it or totally believe that it was balanced and needed. It still feels bad. You're like, oh man, the thing now it costs more.
They took the guns down on the bark a little bit, the twin laser cannon. The RT, I used to play Rebels all the time and I loved Rebels. And then I ran into the clones and I'm like, this red dice thing is a thing, isn't it? This is awesome. I hate the white dice. I
like it when people don't die.
Yeah, I can't play the Rebels anymore. So it was kind of cool, even on the, all the AT-RTs have the same cost for their weapons. Every time you watch an episode of Clone, I keep looking for any AT-RT that's got a rotary cannon on it or a flamer. And it's never there. You're like, why did they make those? And you always see them with the lasers. They took the lasers down to 10 points. So if you want to run a screen accurate, AT-RT, you can do it for 10 points instead of 20 for the others. Is it good? I don't know. It's still 3 dice. It's still going to do some damage. Plus, it's kind of padding against all the tanks that you're going to see.
And it's range 4.
And it's range 4, 2 to 4. So you use your guy on top of it with his rocket launcher, for range 1, and then you use your laser for the rest of it. I don't know about the costs on the clone specialists and stuff like that. That didn't really affect me too much either. So,
core went down.
Yeah, core went down. They went down.
Went down. I was so happy to see that.
The RTS 6 is gone down a little bit too, which is good because I get a bad feeling with the other change that really caught my eye is to where you do not have to put a commander in if you have something with field commander. At this time, the only 2 things that have field commanders is the droid tank and the Republic tank.
Yep.
Republic gets Ayla Secura out there, so you don't have to put Rex in, you don't have to put Obi in, you don't have to put Anakin in. You can put her out there. You cannot do it until the clone specialists and the droid specialists come out because you do not have enough command cards to do it because it states in the rules that you have to have 7. So you can do 4.
That's coming soon.
It's January.
Yeah,
that'll be out
January. That'll be coming soon. So as soon as that happens, we can start looking forward to that.
Yeah,
let me tell you.
You're going to get so many tanks out there. Sean Morris, if you're listening to this, yeah, buddy, we're ready for your double tank, your ATT tanks. Yeah. Just bring those on out. We'll burn those down with our saber tanks. So, not that
we won't. I was going to say we won't. Someone will.
We never get to play them. Yeah, someone will mow your field for
Sean
you there.
Sean is super good with those.
He is notoriously good with those. Him and Jace both.
Anyway, the pretty much around the board, if we're gonna go points wise, what happened real quick. Separatists did not get touched much at all. Their leaders went down by 5 points. Droidekas went down by like 20. And core units units went down by a couple points because all the core did. Core units themselves, only a couple of them went down, but like core upgrades and extra troopers all around for all 4 factions went down. And that's to encourage, I think that was to encourage more upgraded core, because we're seeing special forces and supports and stuff, but we're not seeing like fleshed out core in any way. We're seeing core get thrown in at bare minimum to get list requirements done, and then we're just seeing naked core we're done.
I don't think I ever I usually run 1 unit of naked core just to stay in the backfield and guard whatever objectives back there. I always put some sort of heavy gun on them because to me, they're out there. They need to do some work. 4 black dice to me, even if you're throwing 6 extra with a Z6 and they're not hitting anything, at least you have the potential of doing some extra damage. To me, 4 points of damage it isn't enough to do much because they're going to bounce at least 2 of them anyway.
Yeah. Clones, you heard everything from Bob mostly. The Empire, Boba went down. Both Vaders went down. Dewbacks went down. Man, I am losing my voice. Ooh. The ATSD went down again, I think, and it was a lot of stuff got dropped a little bit, and it just helpful. Upgrades. as far as Empire goes, all the core upgrades went down a little bit. Our favorite thing that we saw was General Weiss is now 1 point.
That's hilariously funny. It's like, they can't make him 0 because, well, okay, they can't.
And then, last but not least, save the best for last, the Rebel Alliance. Oh boy, they got
a nice
some good stuff,
right
man.
There.
Fleets went down by 4. Chewie went down a little bit. I think Chewie went down. He went down to 90.
Yeah.
Wookiees, man. Wookiees got the stuff.
Fuckers. I'm afraid of them now. Okay.
They dropped to 69 points, which I was like, nice. They got some upgrades to their keywords. Wookiees got Duelist, which is on the Beskad Duelist.
Yep.
And the Mandalorians. That's
fact. Where you can actually
Fun
get
fact,
pierced.
I really can't find any podcast that can pronounce that right. The Beskad Duelist.
It's Beskar. Beskar Duelist.
Bob, I swear to God.
That's what it is. Beskar.
Go to your expansion of Mandalorians right now. Go to your thing, go look at the heavy, and I want you to spell on the card Beskad and tell me it's pronounced Beskar.
They messed that card up then, because if you look at all the stuff, it's Beskar is one of all these three. All right, we're gonna look that up before next show, and we're gonna have it out.
It's the style of the sword. The sword is called a Beskad.
Is it?
It is the design. The sword. It's made. Preferred in Beskar. Yes, but the sword itself is called a Beskar.
All right, I'll give you that one.
All right.
Out of all the 1 point, you get a point.
1 point.
You get a good point. There you go.
If everyone else could please honor that name, thank you.
Beskar.
I hear everyone butchering it. I'm like, come on, guys. Beskad Duelist. Anyway, all right. That aside, they got the Duelist keyword, so now they can spend aims to get Pierce in melee and dodge it, and they can spend dodges to be immune to Pierce in melee, which,
is awesome.
Awesome stuff. They got Scale, lost unhindered in that, and they gained Scale, which everyone was hoping for. Chewie also got Scale.
Yep. Which
is cool. And he, in his melee, gained Lethal 1, which awesome.
Awesome.
Operative Luke, actually went down by 5 points. Or was it
So
5?
did, what was it? The Pathfinders. Pathfinders went down.
No, now I'm second guessing myself. Yeah, it was 5. It just went down by 5. And yeah, Pathfinders went down. Pathfinders are now, 58 points.
Right. And I love that they went in and made Bispin and Powell a 2-point hit point.
Yeah.
Card.
So they upgraded those, and they also upgraded DTF-16 from the on the Empire, on the Death Trooper side.
Which is
awesome.
Awesome.
Another thing. People say DTF-16 like it's a gun. DTF-16 is a character.
That's his designation.
And she's like a she. Yeah. That's her designation as a Death Trooper. She's a real character.
Do you remember where she came from? Do you remember?
From Rebels.
Yeah, she was on Rebels. She was there in that when they were digging up that temple on that, or she was on one. No, she was on a ship.
She was on the ship when they were protecting the Kyber crystals. What? No. The airspeeder obviously got a huge buff again.
Dude, that's freaking awesome. I'm so happy with that.
Both with points and with new keywords for now we're going to get into mainly keywords with compulsory vehicles. Actually, before that, upgrades for the Rebels. I'd like to point out that Rebel Core and obviously upgrades and stuff went down. Maybe Ben's 2 favorite Rebel things that got changed for his lists.
Yep.
Jyn Erso went down by 10 points. The Darksaber went down by 10 points.
Don't you mention your build, because that's the most said word in this entire podcast in our history. We have said that word too many damn times.
Ladies' Night. Oh, I love it.
I've heard it too many times. Ran into the ground. It's like listening to your favorite album.
Down like 20 some odd points just from this errata, and I was like, heck yeah, here we go. More upgrades, more stuff get thrown around. Also, Sabine's combat shield went down by I think 5 points. It's only 5 points now. I think it was 10.
Yeah. I think it was 10.
So that was fun. And the Fleet Troopers as a core unit went down by 4 points and are now
40. They
now
as much
40,
as
just like the regular core.
Yeah, the regular core.
And then the extra troopers went down. So if we want to hear Ben's other list, his skirmish list, the Tantive 4 list.
Okay, you can talk about that because that list is actually really cool.
Well, what's wrong with Ladies' Night? What's wrong with
it's overused.
It's not overused.
Overused. The word Ladies' Night is overused. But go ahead. I know you're happy with it.
The Tantive 4 team also went down by like 20 some odd points. So I've been debating how I wanna fill in those points. I'll leave it up. I'm gonna pose it to you guys and to some of my friends and stuff. I'm kind of posing around. How should I fill in like the 20 points that I made back on the Tantive 4 team? My first thought is I can give every unit of Fleet Troopers targeting scopes.
Which is good.
I mean, it's just white dice. It's just one more white dice, but it's like, it's like now they're stormtroopers. Now they have precise,
Exactly.
Or do I give them smoke grenades to improve their cover? Because R2 has that card that I used at the beginning of the game for the smoke token, and I'm kind of like, wouldn't it be nice if I had more of those? And now they're only 2 points. Do I do a mix? Like, do the full squads get targeting scopes, and then do the medic squads get smoke grenades? I don't know.
I think I would go that route if I had to, because that way you get a little bit of cover when they're out there healing stuff up, and you save those guys.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's debatable. I'm still tossing around ideas. If anyone has any good ideas, go listen to the last cast. That'll have the full Tantive 4 list in it. And just realize that it's gone down by like 20 points, and help me figure out what the best way is to put those points back. I don't really care about a bid, especially in skirmish right now. So
yeah, you don't need a bid in skirmish.
I don't care about a bid. I'm like, my list should be, in all game modes. I'm like, my list should be good enough to take on whatever you're bringing, even if you're specialized for it. I should at least give you a challenge. So I've not been that. I've not been in my list needs to be like 770 something party. I'm like, I don't care.
I want more guns. Yeah. I'm looking here at the errata thing that they put out, and I noticed this the other day, just thumbing through it because I was mostly looking at the points updates. But covert observation. This command card should read, while opponents is issuing orders using a command card, each unit that is issuing an order gets a suppression.
Yep.
That's kind of cool. That's a lot better than that card was.
Totally new.
It was great. It was totally awesome because, okay, it's seeing what you're doing, therefore it knows where to shoot you. And then they did the same with the Rebel 1-pip card, Sabotage Communications. While the opponent is issuing orders using a command card, they can issue only one order with that card. So basically you're playing with the radio and kind of toning them out to where they can't give their orders out.
It's pretty close to what it's pretty close to what it originally did, but nobody was using either of those cards.
Yeah, neither one's using. So that's kind of cool. We're going to see that probably out a little bit. Like we've already gone over Wookiees. The Mark II medium blaster. Slade's going to be happy about this one too. It's got now range 4. That's the blaster.
No. 4 health.
Is that right?
Not range 4.
Yeah, 4 health. Sorry, threshold of 4. Yeah, wound threshold.
If it went to range 4.
That would have been awesome. They should have.
I don't know. It would have been broken.
That would have been fun.
Now we're fire supporting at range 4. I'm not okay with it.
We don't. Yeah, that's true.
And I'm the rebel player, so.
Yeah, he's the rebel player. So I looked at it wrong. The lighting in here isn't real bright. And then we went into upgrade cards. Aggressive tactics went up to 15. I see it, but still not happy. But we'll take it. So that's the worst they do. We went over. Where the 1 to 4 comes into the CM93 trooper in the rebel.
The veteran heavy gun.
Yeah, he went to 4. Yeah,
that's cool.
That was cool. Yeah, because like I said, Slade's going to be happy. I got
now
this.
It's just a T21 officially.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, they did a lot of cool stuff. I'm really happy with the card upgrades and stuff. The airspeeder, it's got its tow cable free. And it's got, it surges to crit, which it should. I'm sorry, you're shooting people on the ground usually.
Or vehicles.
Or vehicles.
It's the airspeeder. It's got to be cool.
It is. It's very cool.
I love the idea. Oh, go ahead.
My favorite thing that I found in the end, well, not my favorite, but because everything's good mostly except for that points thing that we're not going to go over anymore. They made the speeders, the speeder 1s and speeder 2s, repulsor vehicles to where you can do your compulsory at the end of your move. Because I really never liked repulsor vehicles because to me it just throws your timing off. You got to be in the right place at the right time, and then I got to move speed 3. Crap, I just messed up what I was doing. Now I like it. You can pull up on a round, and then the next round you can shoot and then pull around the corner or whatever. Kind of almost like that. What is it? Steady. Not as good because you still got to get turned around to shoot again. But I think it's going to make those more viable. I know Paul Watson was excited about that. Because he's like, now Barks can actually do a little bit more work. He's really good at those, though, because he played a Imperial speeder bike, so that's where he cut his teeth doing the repulsor. So he had a little bit more advantage, but he said, no, this is awesome, because now you don't have to worry about moving the first round and figuring out where you got to be, and then just sit there and get shot. So
you can really barrage something now, because you can do 2 turns. You can do a really heavy drive-by in 2 turns, because you could do a first turn, maybe not round 1, but like first turn of this maneuver.
Of your action.
Do a compulsory move at the start to get yourself into position. Maybe you're in flanking position. Imagine this as a last first. Okay.
Yep.
You have your dudes that are in cover that you're wanting to shoot. You do your speeder bikes. You compulsory move. Let's say this is the last activation. Compulsory move into a position where they're flanking your opponent, where they have no cover. Then you have 2 actions. You aim and fire. And then round 2, you're firsting with them again. You don't do your compulsory move because you're in the perfect position.
Yep.
You aim fire again. And then you do your compulsory move. Now you're not in your position anymore because it's a fast mover and it's a tight situation. But man, imagine that that's scary. Whew.
That's just especially.
It makes speeders more user friendly, but it also gives them a higher ceiling of skill.
Well, yeah,
and anytime you do both of those things, it's awesome.
It is. Look at the Imperial speeders, because that's just right up their alley. Uh-huh. They've got all those dice they're throwing every time. So yeah, you last first it. What do they throw? I forget what they throw. I don't have the card with me.
I think they throw a rainbow.
So two rainbows.
I've only played against Josh a million times, and he only plays the speeder bikes like near every time because
nobody around me plays
triple bikes.
But yeah, I mean, imagine that they're throwing double rainbow at you, twice basically, and that's just going to put a lot of damage out there. Then they're just going to drive off like, oh yeah, see you later.
Yep.
That was probably one of my favorite because I was like, man, because when the Barks come out, I was like, I'm going to run these, and then I'm like, oh god, I can't do these. These suck. So I've actually redone an army with a Bark in it. So I'm going to see how that goes. Nice.
I can't wait to see the Bark back on the table. I want to get it back on the table.
They're pretty. There's so many different styles. I've done one without the side card, and I made it. Who was it? Was it Apo? No, it wasn't Apo. It was who killed out Galia on the speeder bikes and.
Oh yeah.
I painted one up like him.
Yep.
I forget which clone it was, but I painted up one with him where he doesn't have a sidecar, and then I made an orange one because I wanted it to go with my orange clones, which I painted first. So I've got 2 different ones, and then I've got an extra one. So if somebody comes up with a cool idea, I can paint it up like that too. So I've got 3 sets.
I now have 3. I knew I had 2 because I painted one up like the standard Bark, and I just painted the Phase 1 clones, just shinies. My second one, I know I'm going to paint 269th, so it's going to be purple.
Right.
I don't know what I'm going to do with the third one. I'll probably do another 269th bike.
Mine's been set in a box because after I got that bad taste in my mouth for them, I was like, yeah, whatever. These are cool looking. They'll look nice on the shelf. But now that they've opened up the way they work, I'm like, okay, I'll give them another try. I'm that way with everything. First impressions mean a lot to me, but then, eventually you get really tired. I've been playing Empire for a bit because you're going to freak out. I got tired of playing clones because at the house, Mike runs clones, I run clones, Shaughnessy runs clones. we've got one dude, TJ. He runs Imperial or droids. So, that's the selection at the house during the lockdown and everything. Those were the only guys I allowed at my house, and then one of them got COVID. We took 2 or 3 weeks off, and he got it, so he wasn't welcome out there because, he had to get cleaned. So, it kind of slowed down to where it was clones with clones. So I was like, you know what, screw it, I'm just going to go play Imperial. Pulled those guys out, do pretty well with them. They do pretty good. What about that freaking tank carrying around an E-Web generator? That's going to be fun.
Transports are now completely overhauled. So now, as opposed to the way that transports used to be, where nobody was transporting anybody, except occasionally you'd see snowtroopers going inside of a Gav tank, and nobody was taking anybody inside the land speeder, open transports and closed transports are now completely overhauled. You can take actions inside of them. You can shoot from them. You can take cover in them.
You can get shot.
You can get shot in them, but you don't have to get auto-wounded when the vehicle gets shot. In fact, when the vehicle gets destroyed, you don't even auto-die. You get a wound and a suppression token, and you get placed somewhere, like, in base contact with where the vehicle was when it dies. And that's so cool, and it changes so much. Speeders everyone's so excited to start running speeders again. I've already seen pictures of people who have been posting their games and their battle reports where they're using speeders and they've got people in them. It changes the game so much to have people shooting from inside of vehicles. It's so cool. All the Rebel players are putting Han Solo and in their land speeders, and all the Empire players are putting E-Webs in their Gavs, which, by the way, makes them lose the fixed keyword now. So now you can 360 shoot that E-Web, which, scary.
Exactly. What I thought would be cool is to throw Palpatine in the back of one of those and just drive his butt around lightning everybody.
Ooh, oh no,
Dude,
oh.
Do you remember when the Gavs first came out? I've got Palpatine on the throne from the other Star Wars game that was out from WizKids. And he's sitting on the throne and stuff. That was the first thing I did. I ended up putting Palpatine on the back of it, and I'm like, would this just not be crazy as a Palpmobile? Get a little bubble to put over it. So he's got his little bubble like the Pope, and just drive his ass around and just go, oh, you get lightning, you get some lightning. How about some lightning over there?
I hadn't even thought about how far Palp's going to get to move up the board now.
Yeah. Is it a mess? Is that just a mess or
Palp's
what?
coming back, everybody. Palp's coming back, and he's got a car.
Yeah, he's got his own Pope-mobile. So I'm going to find a piece of plexiglass or something. I'm going to build a little enclosure for him on the back of it.
That's
and
going to
call it the Pope-mobile. Because the thing is so cool because he's sitting in the throne and he's all laid back, like when he's watching Luke and Vader go, and he's just got that smirk on his face. I'm like, oh, dude, we got to do something with this. And then there was nothing you could do with it because he was enclosed. Then you had to get his old, I'm going to say it, his old ass out of there to get him to do anything. But now you don't. You just drive him around. It's driving Mr. Palp and, not Miss Daisy anymore. It's Mr. Palp.
All right. Well, I'm going to share with you an equally scary concept. R2-D2 in the land speeder is now it's not only less of a risk and less of a gamble, it's now quite viable.
It's very quick is what it is. Well, speed too.
Well, here's the deal. You can take actions inside the land speeder now.
Yep.
R2-D2 doesn't need to get out of the land speeder in order to score secret mission.
Which I bet you that gets nuked really quick. I
don't know, man. If Palpatine can get to the middle of the board in like one turn now, maybe having R2 doing secret mission isn't so bad. I will say it is really good, so that might change, but, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm totally wrong on this. But the thing is, as far as I can tell, R2-D2 in the land speeder runs up the side of the board. People want to shoot R2-D2. It's the same as if you're shooting R2 without a land speeder now. In the old rules, you just shot the land speeder and then R2 took wounds and then he couldn't do anything about it, and that was it.
Right.
So nobody really did it. I thought it was a funny idea, but I never actually really went through with it. Now I absolutely am, because now, if you shoot the land speeder, you're just shooting the land speeder. If you shoot R2, 1, he's in heavy cover. 2, after you shoot him for the first time and he gets that suppression token, now, you're always going to have a viable target, which is the land speeder.
Right.
Now you always have to shoot the land speeder, because the land speeder is a valid target that's right next to R2. There's no terrain scoping your way around that. I've seen a lot of people getting really good with terrain scoping to make sure that they can get a shot on R2 and 3PO. But with a land speeder, you're not going to be able to do that because he's in the land speeder. If you can see R2, you can see the speeder, so you have to shoot the speeder.
It comes back down to my thing though. I mean, it's white dice. It's white dice. It's got that armor. What is
but
it,
here's the other thing now. You can take actions in the land speeder. R2-D2 can repair himself or the land speeder while he's in it.
Exactly. That's why I think it's probably going to get neutered.
Ooh, it's good. Unless
it's
I'm wrong.
Good.
It's super good.
Yeah, it does. It looks great. It looks great on paper.
I personally want to go out and buy like 2 more land speeders. I have one.
Let Sean Morris take a shot at it, and he'll just kill it because his dice are just on
fire.
fire.
Well, that's different.
Yeah.
I personally want to go get like 2 more land speeders, and I want to do
2 of them.
I want to do a purple one because I love me my purple, but I also want to do like an R2-D2 themed speeder and just make that the R2 mobile.
When they first started talking about the speeder, Freeman was still playing. Nick Freeman.
Yep.
Hey, Nick, if you're still listening to podcasts about Legion. And I was in contact with him. I was talking about doing art and stuff, and I said, I'm going to buy 2 of those speeders. I'm going to paint them red, and I'm going to paint thing 1 and thing 2 on them and put the white circle on the hood. So I think probably I've got a second speeder. My first one is red. I've got a second one. And I'm thinking about I'm probably actually going to make that reality. Is I'm going to paint thing 1 and thing 2 on it, and
then run 2 commanders and put 1 in each of them. Yeah.
Put Solo in one and put R2 in the other, and run it for all.
Or Han in one and Chewie in the other.
You could do that too.
And then run them side by side, so they're still getting teamwork. Yeah.
That was fun. I had thought about taken an old Wookiee from the WizKids game again, and I give him a flagpole to hold on to. I haven't got the flag done yet, and I was going to stand him on the back of the speeder. And I was going to paint the rebel symbol on the flag, and my buddy Jeff, who plays a lot of Warhammer and got a lot of bits and pieces, had this flag, and it's just it's probably like 2 inches the tails on it where it fans out. And I'm thinking, man, if I paint that with a rebel symbol on it, throw it on that speeder, that's going to look cool. Put Chewbacca in that, because remember the old thing with Chewbacca, you put him in the speeder and you just drive him around and let him get shot, because when he comes out and they blow up the speeder or whatever, or he disembarks,
enraged,
he's pissed off.
Yeah.
So he's going to go, you drop him off next to a group of stormtroopers, and them suckers are all going to die, because he's all pissed off anyway. He's just going to smash everything, and he's going to die anyway. But still, I always thought that was a really cool concept. So I thought, I'm going to stick a Wookiee on one of them. But yeah, that's kind of fun. Stick Solo and Chewbacca in there, or stick Solo and R2 in there, and have basically Han, block for him, and go to town.
It is going to be so much.
It's going to be a fun thing. I think you're going to see a lot of people. Like I said, I'm pretty much an exclusive clone player, but I think with all the new stuff and all the neat ideas, and even like the Palp mobile is I'm going to try it. You will see that on the board at some time.
And you'll see the R2 mobile. I patented the name. I call it R2-D2. And you're like, what? And I'm like, it's an acronym. It stands for Ride to Deployment to.
Nice. Very nice. Yeah, I think that
we're going to see these things.
It's going to be a lot of choices on target acquisition, on what you need to kill first with the new stuff. But I'm pretty excited. That's about all I got on that. I mean, we went through of the stuff. The Legion Academy went through and did the deep dive. We were just kind of skimming the surface with a rock. Yeah.
And then talking about our stupid, dumb stuff that we want to try.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and that's cool. Eventually, I hope that we can get us out in the forum somewhere, and people can leave us their crazy, silly ideas, and we go, oh crap, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, well, we did. We started to get that with the skirmish post.
Yeah.
When I posted the last episode on Facebook and said the title was you brought what to skirmish? Because it was all of us talking about our weird, janky skirmish lists. And then, people were replying and posting what their favorite skirmish list is. And so I'm like, yeah.
That's good. Come talk to us. We'll talk to you.
I was going to say for this post, for this episode, if if you want to write in the comments and you want to share like what awesome crazy stuff you're all about for the new RRG, if you have some new crazy combo that you want to do or that you're excited about, or just like what Bob and I are talking about, we now have vehicle paint jobs that we're going to go out and do that are going to be really fun. If you have stuff like that, show us, share it. Let's do it. Let's see it.
Yep. I think maybe we should end. I want to do one more thing really super quick.
Okay.
I've been just talked off about Anakin Skywalker and that stupid flaw card. I have just been madder than squat about it.
Okay.
Just why in the heck you're going to lose him for a turn? And why doesn't Maul have a flaw card? Because his should be anger and he should have to attack a commander that pisses him off or whatever. But still, why in the hell would I ever put Anakin Skywalker in when I'm going to lose him for a round if he's got suppression and they're going to play that stupid card? And I was on our chat with Legion Academy because we talk to those guys every day. And I'm like, Joe, what the hell, dude? Why is it that way? And he's like, what in the hell are you talking about? And I'm like, you lose Anakin because it's so easy to get one suppression. And he's like, no, you idiot. You can't give him.
He didn't say that.
He kind of said that, but it was in the tone because I could just hear him going, Bob's an idiot. Why is he doing this? He's smarter than that. He's a good player. He knows what he's a judge. Why the heck? I had misread that stupid card because when I read it, I was like, no. First I was pissed because Maul should have a flaw card. It should be called anger, an unbridled anger. And he should have to
just be called Kenobi, but
I was going to say that, or if
hyperfixation.
If there's a Kenobi on the thing, he has to go after it. When they get Qui-Gon out, he has to go kill him first before he can kill Kenobi. But he should have some sort of flaw dealing with his anger because he was just a big ball of angry fur or non-fur, but horns. And it got me so honked off that I didn't read Anakin's card. So now I'm really happy with Anakin. I've got my new list that I think I'm looking at is going to be Anakin, Rex, and some clones. Just because that's what you're used to. You don't turn on Clone Wars. I think there's maybe 6 episodes that they're not together. And the same with Ahsoka. Hope to God they make her an operative.
Oh, so that's what I was going to say. So with the new Field Commander rules,
exactly,
I am now only one release away from starting my Republic Ladies Night list.
I just
need Ahsoka.
Yeah, no, you're not getting Ahsoka. We're getting Ahsoka.
Yeah, I am. We're getting Ahsoka, and she can be an operative even. She doesn't have to be a commander, and I'm already good to go.
Yeah.
Now I have to go out and get a saber, but then I'll have 3, and so I can make Republic Ladies Night, and it'll be Ayla Secura as my field commander, and it'll be Padme, and it'll be Ahsoka.
Ladies Night. Just remember who killed your Ladies Night at Gen Con, your first big convention that you got to play it at.
Let me
That'd
see.
be Joe DePinto
Joe
and Bob Swain.
Brad Moore.
And Bob Swain.
And I think there was a third guy, but I don't remember.
By 1 point.
He was he wasn't really that nice of an opponent.
Dead Ladies Night on the floor. Why are you shooting my Sabine? Oh, squat by 1 point. That was awesome. That was a great game. That was a lot of fun.
It was.
That was good.
Oh, I will say, there's one more thing I completely blanked, but when you were talking about, I don't know, no transition there. I know you were talking about something and it reminded me. There are 3 new keywords that we've never seen on anything in this new RRG.
Exactly.
There is bolster, there's direct, and there's contingency. We have never seen those on any unit, and they're coming out with the new ones, more than likely.
Exactly, because it's like
we have the new generic clone pack, the tactical droid pack. We have Lando and we have Callus, and we have 3 new keywords among them. Where are they going to go? I'm not sure.
With that bolster, though, that's nuts. You can choose up to X friendly units at range 1. Each chosen unit gains a surge token. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Unit using bolster X may choose itself as one of its friendly units. Well, yeah, because you're friendly to yourself. Well, most people are. Some people just hate themselves, and you can't bolster them. What's contingencies do? I can't remember.
Well, hold on. Bolster is you give them surge tokens, so it's kind of like the take cover or the spotter equivalent, but with surge tokens. My prediction: this is going on the clone commander.
Well, duh.
What do you mean, well, duh? Could go on Callus.
I guess.
I'm thinking it goes on the clone commander. That's my call. Alright. Then you get direct. Direct is kind of like entourage. You basically, like, during the command phase when you're issuing orders, you can issue orders to, whoever it says direct to. So maybe it's like direct stormtroopers or direct core unit, or I don't know exactly what the parameters will be when they first use this, but I can see this going on Callus.
It could go on Callus. You could do it really on Han Solo and give Chewbacca an order.
But they didn't errata them with that, so.
Yeah. I don't know.
They could do it in the future, I suppose.
They could.
I find it funny that Director Krennic doesn't get direct, but.
He already has entourage.
Yeah, he's got his entourage, I know, but I was just like, the keyword is called direct. He has the title, Director. But he doesn't have the keyword. Anyway, yeah. It's because they came out after the fact. Finally, my favorite new one is Contingency. Contingency is a side command card hand now. So if you have Contingency 1, you now have a side hand of one command card that you could swap out and play during the command card phase. Now, there are rules to this Contingency hand.
There seems to be a lot of them. It's like
you can't, obviously you can't bring a command card for a commander or someone that's not in your list. I can't bring Ladies' Night and then have my Contingency hand have a Luke Skywalker card because I don't have Luke in there. So it's whatever. And then the other thing is you pick that card when you're list building, so it's not right before the match. You just get to pick, and you can only play it in place of an equivalent pip that you played that turn. So if my Contingency card is a 2-pip, and I play a 3-pip, I can't swap it out for my Contingency card. But if I played a 2-pip, and then I see what my opponent played, I could be like, oh wait, not this card, I'm actually gonna play this card this turn from my Contingency hand.
So, you take Leia, and you take her bombardment card.
Yep.
And you decide that you've got it in your command hand.
Yep.
But some cool guy plays limited visibility, so you could take that. You could take that out of your hand and take your Contingency card and put it in there.
And you know what? I actually had Jin's 1-pip Rebellious. I had that as my Contingency, or I had Sabotage Communications as my Contingency card. Bam.
Right.
Now you're opening turn 1 where you got like 3 orders issued out. Now you get 1.
Right. But you can't pull that card out of the Contingency pile and do it again, can you?
No, you can't. And the card that you discarded that you replaced is discarded. So now I can't play Bombardment.
Right.
But, in a Lim Viz game, you're probably not playing Bombardment anyway, because by the time that Lim Viz is gone, so's your window for playing an Bombard. So.
But, I mean, there's other cards. I only said that because there's other cards that you might want to be able to pull back into your hand. But I think it's good. I think it's really good because how many people have you seen just do that with Leia? I know you've done it. I've done it.
Yeah, everyone's done it once.
Everybody's done it once. It's like, okay, that'll never happen again. And like I say, you've got a good command structure there because you've got Sabine's cards, you've got Jin's cards, and you've got Leia's cards.
But that's always, and Joe said this in their video as well, the hardest part for Rebels is definitely making your command hand, because you have so many you have 2 commanders, 2 operatives sometimes, and then it's like, I can only pick, what does my command hand look like? And I've tried to hammer down the Ladies' Night, like for me, the Ladies' Night hand down to an art and a science. But in every list, when you take that many characters, it's really hard to figure out what command hand to take. Exactly. You really have to hammer it out and find out based on your playstyle, or now you have Contingency. Now you can bring that, and I think, Sean mentioned Blast Off would be a great Contingency card, because you brought it, but sometimes you don't always need it. That's the perfect opportunity to have a Contingency card.
Exactly.
I don't need Blast Off this game, therefore I just play with my, Bombardment and my Explosions or whatever, but like, one turn you get caught up and you're like, oh, okay, well now I need Blast Off, so here's my generic 1-pip, or here's my bombard that I'm not going to end up using because the time has passed. But it's actually blast off. So,
Yep. That's cool.
I see this going on. So everyone's predicting this is going to go on Lando, and I totally believe that it can go on Lando.
I would think so, just based off of what we know about Lando and what he's done, because he's always got an ace in the hole.
Yeah, he's literally got cards up his sleeve. It's totally Lando to do. I feel like even with Lando, it's going to be contingency 1, maybe contingency 2.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's going to go up to contingency 3 on Lando. If it does,
I don't know who it would.
cool.
So, yeah.
I know who it would. I would love to see contingency 3 on Thrawn.
I could see that.
I
would
would
go
love
for that.
to see that. Like whenever we get Thrawn, I would love to see him have contingency 3.
Yeah, because he's a slippery bastard.
Yeah, it makes him prepared for everything. Actually, who I would love to see contingency on, I would love to see contingency 1 on the tactical droid commander.
Exactly. That would be a good one too. I would
because they always talk about how I've studied all the Republic's moves and I have all of their stuff in my database and I have plans for every response that the Republic can give. How better to show that with contingency?
Like the one from Rebels that remember they rolled up on this one and it was called I think the last of the Clone War, the last battle of the Clone War and stuff where they found that whole group of them. And that dude we've been here for years and we've studied everything that the clones had ever done in the time. And, I can do anything. Very cool. I think that's it, isn't it? We're close.
Yeah, let's call it a night there. We're both losing our voice and we gotta go. We got lots of stuff to do. I got lots of stuff to do just tonight. You got to start up Luke and everything. So, Any final thoughts, Bob? Anything?
No. I think this was a good episode. I'm glad we got to do it. With everything going on and stuff, I'm glad I could make it over here and get this going. Again, thanks to Belt for letting us use the museum.
Thank you.
I don't even know where he's at. He came down one time, looked at me, and turned around, and went back upstairs. So I don't know what he's doing. So I will make sure.
See, he might be hanging out in the mess hall of the ship.
Exactly.
That's probably where I'm headed next.
That's where I'm going to.
Wait. If he's there, you're here, I'm here. Who's flying? All right, everybody. Have a great night.
We'll see y'all later.
And all right, start going. Okay. Have a great night. I hope everyone had a nice time. Go out to make the day even better. I already feel the ship starting to shake.
Yeah, we're gonna hit something.